Good morning, everyone. This is Lynn speaking on behalf of the Arizona Buddhist Temple. Today, we're here to commemorate our pets. This is our pet memorial service, or pet Hoji. So several members of this temple have given me the names of their pets who have passed away. So I'd like to go ahead and read this list. This is in memory of Jojo, Lonnie, Aki, Batman, Magic Larry, Haru, Natsu, Basil, Simba, Tom Popo, Mickey, Chibi, Snoopy, Trigger, Nugget, Duke, Dante, Duchess, Daisy, Boo Boo, Gato, Suki, Neptune, Taro, Sparky, Joey, Maya, Squeaker, Georgie, Patches, Perry, Abby, Daisy, and Tombo. Next, I'd like to read the adoration for our pets. So let's pray hands together and please listen. Today, we are gathered here to honor our pets for this memorial service. We reflect upon the love, joy, and happiness they gave us when they were alive. Let's reflect upon our own lives for today's service. Our pets are in the Pure Land, and they have come back to bring us to the service and to listen to the Buddhist teachings together. Our wish is that our family and friends who are gathered here today will reflect upon the impermanence of all life and to deeply entrust ourselves to the great vow of the Amida Buddha, and together follow in the great Nembutsu path. Together, let's find comfort in the teachings and let's reflect upon our pets and that they have brought us here for today's service. So let us look upon our future life and with faith in the Amida Buddha, repeat his name. Let's pray hands together in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namandapsu, Namandapsu, Namandapsu. Thank you very much. I'd like to give my Dharma talk for this pet memorial service. So let's put our hands together in Gasho. This is from a reading from the teachings of the Buddha. So please listen. Move towards good. Cease from evil. Evil takes over when good is neglected. One evil deed is enough. Why repeat it? Only grief will follow if the mind thinks evil. One good deed is a beginning which needs repetition. Only joy will follow if the mind thinks good. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandapsu. I want to thank all of you who are watching for your support of the Arizona Buddhist Temple. And I also want to thank you for watching us on the YouTube channel, Dharma in the Desert, and also on the Facebook webpage for the Arizona Buddhist Temple. So today we are remembering our pets who have passed away. And so I think it's very important that we remember our beloved pets and their lives that they shared with us. And so I know that for some pets, they spent a short time with us, but other pets, they may have spent decades with some of you. And so I understand how much a pet, a loved one, means to you and your family. So even for me, growing up in Colorado, when I was younger, my family and I, we had a pet dog named Snoopy. And so I was given the responsibility to name the dog. And at that time, I was really into Charlie Brown. And so I named my dog after Snoopy from the comic strip Peanuts, created by Charles Schulz. And so unfortunately, growing up, I didn't know much about pet care, and so I didn't really train my dog to do any sort of fun tricks. But all the same, all of us loved our dog Snoopy very much. So when I reflect upon our pets, do you think our pets can be our teachers? Do you think our pets can be our teachers? And so I think what they teach us are simple things like responsibility, that we need to feed them, and that we need to care for them and love them, and that they teach us how to be kind and gentle, and to be diligent in training them to be a great pet for the family. And so I want to tell you this story that was told long ago about a hunter, a dog, and what they taught a king. So a long time ago, there was a king who lived in a small kingdom in India. But this king was very oppressive to his people, and so the subjects hated him. But yet, one day, this king, he found out that the Lord Buddha was going to come to his kingdom to give a sermon, to give a Dharma talk. And so this king, he really wanted to hear and to understand the Buddha's teachings. When the Buddha finally came to the kingdom, this king invited the Lord Buddha to come to his palace. And so the Buddha came to the palace, and this king asked, Lord Buddha, can you teach me a lesson that will divert my mind and to benefit me at the same time? And so the Buddha, the Blessed One, said, I shall tell you a parable of the hungry dog. So the parable goes, there was once a wicked king who was very harsh to his people living in his kingdom. One day, a hunter came to the kingdom, and he had this huge dog that was with him as a pet. And so this hunter and the dog, they entered the palace. Then the dog started to howl woefully, and he howled so loudly that the building shook from the sound. And so this wicked king, he greeted the hunter and asked, why is this dog howling so loudly and so woefully? And so the hunter said simply, well, this dog is very hungry. That's why he's howling. And so this wicked king being frightened of this enormous dog, he ordered his servants to bring food for the dog to eat. And so food was prepared, and this all went to the dog. But the king also prepared this nice feast, this banquet for the hunter also. But even though the dog seemed to be well fed, he started to howl again. And this time, his howling became even louder and higher in pitch. And so this wicked king, he couldn't stand this howling dog. And he ordered more food for the dog to eat. So this dog ate so much that the royal refrigerator, the royal storehouse became empty. All the food going to the dog. And so the king said, this is all in vain to try to keep this dog satisfied. And that this dog keeps on barking, even though he's had a lot of food. And so this tyrant king, he desperately asked the hunter, since nothing satisfies this beast, why is this beast howling so much? And then the hunter said, this dog howls because there are other people hungry in your kingdom. And that the only thing to satisfy this dog, this creature, is to feed him the enemies. But the enemies are those who practice injustice and those who oppress the poor. And so when the wicked king heard this, he became very frightened. And he promised that he would try to be better and kinder to his people and to serve his people with the best interest in heart. And so when the Buddha finished the fable, this king, the king that invited the Buddha, realized that the story was about him and that he was the one who also oppressed his people. And remembering all his evil deeds, he was seized by remorse. He began to feel very sorry for what he did. And so he told the Buddha that he was very sorry for his cruelty. And for the first time in his life, he felt that he could really listen and to really understand what the Buddha was trying to teach him. And so the Lord Buddha told this king, the Buddha can open the spiritual ears of the powerful when you, great king, hear the dog barking. So when you hear the dog, please remember the teachings of the Buddha. And as you understand and practice the Buddha's teachings, I want you to pacify your anger and your cruelty. So with that, the king became a great disciple of the Buddha. So what does this story tell us? Well, to me, the huge dog in this story represents discord and resentment that the people felt. And so when you encounter a mean person, like a bully, the bully can do many, many mean things to you. And so you start to feel very bitter and very resentful towards this person. And so, like the dog, your resentment, your bark becomes louder and louder. And so, for us as Shin Buddhists, Shinran Shonin taught us that our mind is often filled with greed, anger, and stupidity. And our own selfish deeds, our own selfish desires, they can make other people mad at us for what we do. And so just like the king in the story, because of his meanness, because of his cruelty, his subjects, his people began to resent him, and their anger became louder and louder, just like the dog barking. However, if we perform kind and good acts towards people, people will begin to like us, and they will respect us for our good deeds. So I know that for us, we all experience kind acts, kind deeds from our family and friends and from our teachers. And so this made me think about, what do we do for our family, our friends, our teachers? So it's important for us to also return those kind acts and kind deeds to our family, our friends, and teachers, and that to practice these kind acts, these good deeds, we need to practice them over and over again for us to become better people. So like my reading at the beginning, evil deeds, evil thoughts can lead to grief for those who follow it. So when we have our mind on good deeds, on good thoughts, then joy will follow. So I think it's good that we remember this teaching, especially during this time of violence and war. Shihan Shonin, our great teacher, he taught that we should entrust ourselves to the Amida Buddha. And from the teachings, we will realize that we can change our selfish deeds, our selfish desires. And with those teachings, we can greater understand our greed, our anger, and stupidity, and how it ends up hurting other people around us, the people that we love the most. So when we realize this hindrance in our lives, then we start to feel gratitude. And we feel gratitude for this life that we have. We start to feel gratitude for the people in our lives, our teachers, our family and friends. And so to practice this gratitude, we must practice it with people, to show them kindness and love over and over again. So one of the ways to show our gratitude is very simple. It's just to say thank you for what they have done for us. And so this kind of practice, I think, is very easy for us to practice, to say thank you over and over again to those people who help us. So for this pet Hoji, let's remember our pets and the love that we gave them, and the love that they shared with us, and that we are grateful for having them in our lives, and that they gave us joy and they gave us happiness for when they were around. And so let's remember that because of our pets, we appreciate our lives, and that we are better for it because we're able to practice this kindness, these good deeds that we shared with our pets. So this concludes my Dharma talk. I want to thank you for listening. For May, our temple will have an in-person service on May the 22nd. May the 22nd on Sunday at 10 o'clock. And so for May 22nd, we will have a service to commemorate the birth of Shinran Shonin, the founder of our tradition of Shin Buddhism. And we also have an infant presentation. So if you know of any babies or any very young children, and you wish to participate in the infant presentation, or in Japanese what we call shosanshiki, please let me know so that they can be part of the service. So please call us at the temple at 602-278-0036. So I want to thank you for listening. Please have a good day. And in closing, please join me in Gasho, and I will again say the words from the teachings of the Buddha. So please, let's put our hands together and please listen. Move towards good. Cease from evil. Evil takes over when good is neglected. One evil deed is enough. Why repeat it? Only grief will follow if the mind thinks evil. One good deed is the beginning which needs repetition. Only joy will follow if the mind thinks good. So please, let's put our hands together in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please have a good day, and please be safe.